Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and welcome to our CarTech how-to video on the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder, and this is the SV trim level. Today I'll be covering the driver's information and infotainment screens. I'll do a general overview, show you how to access information, and do a deep dive. Let's get started.
Today we're working with our friends at Mankato Nissan in Mankato, Minnesota.
Okay, on the driver's information screen, you have got an analog tach and engine temperature on the left, followed by an analog speedometer and fuel gauge on the right. Now in the middle is the digital information screen where you can manipulate information. To do that, you are going to use the steering wheel controls on the left side of the steering wheel. Now, in addition to these are the buttons that will control your driver's information screen. This is like a skip backward, skip forward, or change radio stations, and this is your volume. All right, so at the bottom of the screen, you're gonna see, or towards the bottom at least, you will see these little icons pop up when you click these arrows. And these are the various menus that you can go into and look at different settings on the car. So this is a home one, and you'll notice that for a brief second I had some orange dots that showed up. So that means you can use a rotary knob to change the information and see some additional things. Anytime you see those double arrows pointing up and down. So at home screen here, you've got the digital speedometer, and if you go down one, you've got basically a calm screen. So it's just black. All right. Now, if I go over one to the right, I've got three screens. I've got speed, and then it actually shows your average underneath that. And then you've got the drive computer, so you've got your average miles per gallon, your average speed, and then your distance driving and the time driving. And then if you want to change that, you're going to press and hold this rotary dial. Okay, you can reset all items, only the average fuel, average speed, driving distance, and driving time. I can press this to exit, or I can press this to go back. So I am going to go back. So that's how you reset all that stuff. Now I still have another screen, so I'm going to go down one more. And here I have got average fuel economy. Now you notice it says manual reset 1. So you can have that, so you just manually reset it so the car doesn't reset it for you. You can also set it so that the car resets it for you. And we'll see that a little bit later. Okay. Let me go one more to the right, and we're going to switch over to the car icon. Here you've got a couple screens. You've got tire pressure. I like it that they show you the tire pressure even when you're sitting still. If I go down one screen, I've got tells you how long your auto start stop has been functioning and total fuel saved. Go down one more screen, and this is where you can get your 4x4 information and see where the traction is between the front and the rear of the car, between 0 and 100%. Right? I'm going to click one more to the right. Here is your media. So right now, this is all I get. It shows you I'm on preset 12. I can use the arrow buttons on the steering wheel, and I can change to a different preset. Okay. Then if I click the OK button, the rotary dial, this is where I can switch between AM, FM, and then Sirius XM. So I just click on it, and then I'm in that particular media. All right, I'm gonna go one more to the right. Okay, here is your ProPilot Assist systems here, and you've got, I think, 2 pages here. So basically this one is the one that if ProPilot is turned on, I'll click that button here. The icon's on the top left of the screen. Now it would show up blue if we had it in drive. I can do the gap setting over here. And then if I had the lane centering assist on, you would notice the lines on the right and left side of the road would light up. So I'm gonna go back over to the left side of the steering wheel, and we'll rotate down one, and this one just kind of gives you an overview, like your forward collision sensing system, that's on. your blind spot is on, and your lane centering is on. Now, if I press OK, I can go into a menu, and I can do each of these individually. I'm going to hit the back button, and you can do the same thing for blind spot assist, and you can do the same thing for emergency assist. Okay? So those are really nice features. The front and rear emergency assist is going to help brake in the event that it senses something there. So really handy. I would leave those on. I'm going to hit the back button here. I'm going to hit the back button again. And then, so those are the two screens you get here, kind of under your driver assist area. I'm going to go one more to the right. And this is where the settings occur. So if I press OK, I can change all of these things that you see listed. If I keep scrolling down, there's a few more things. So I'm going to go up here. We're not going to go through all of these, but let's go to driver assistance. So we saw some of these things before, but this has a more complete menu. So if I go down, if I go down, sometimes on this rotary knob, it's a little stiff, and I notice it doesn't want to rotate as easily as I'd like it. But here, under lane assist, if I click here, you get the same picture that we had before, but you also have now parking aids. Okay, so you can turn it on and off the sonar in the rear and front, and you can set the distance that you want it to, look at, long, medium, or short. And just a simple click of the button will set it. Hit the back button. You can also adjust the sonar volume, so how much it beeps at you when it senses something, and you can do that to be high, medium, or low. I'm going to go back twice. Rear cross traffic alert, you can have that turned on or off, just a simple click of the button. Driver alertness, you can do the same thing there. You can have a low temp alert, and then you can do a timer alert. And if I click here, you can go in here and you can say remind me at all the way up to, I'm not sure what 360 minutes to 0 minutes. And then it'll beep. And then, you'll have to remember what the timer was set for, but you can do that. And then you can scroll down here and you can hit reset. All right, I hit the back button. Hit the back button again. Here's where your tire pressure system is. You can go in here and you can select the different kind of units by clicking again and then going down and setting the units. I'm gonna hit the back button. Let's see, we'll have to hit it again. There on the clock, you can set the clock manually, and then you can, if you click here, you can just set the clock right there. I'm not going to set that. I'm just going to leave it where it is. And then you can change the clock format from 12-hour to 24-hour just by clicking the OK button. Vehicle settings. Lighting. So you can have the welcome headlight on, so when you hit the lock or unlock on the remote, the lights flash. You can have the outer room lamp come on or off. And again, it's a simple click to turn it off or on. Auto headlight. This does have auto and off, and you can auto headlight on or off, and you can say I want it to turn on earliest or later. Light off delay. You can delay the lights from turning off from 0 seconds all the way to 180 seconds. Why do you want that? Well, if you're getting out and your car's in front of your house and you need a little light so you can make it to the door to unlock it, that's what that's for. Hit the back button, and I'm going to hit the back button again. Wipers. Right here, you've got speed dependent. You can have that on or off. You can also have the reverse link, where if you put the car in reverse, the back windshield automatically wipes. I like having that off because most of the time it's dry, and then I'm just scraping my blade against the dry windshield. But if you live in a rainy, wet area, that might be a really nice function. Hit the back button here. I'm gonna hit the back button one more time, and then if we scroll down, you do have maintenance. So if I go in here, you can look at air filter, tire, or other, and then you've got service. Right, go back twice, customize display. So main menu selection. If I press the OK button here, which is the rotary dial, I can turn something on or off. So if let's just say, for instance, I don't want the blank screen. So I click that off. Now, if I go backwards, and I go back again, and I go back again, and I go all the way to home, before I had a blank screen here, I could rotate this up and down. That's now gone. The other screens that we saw, they may appear here. They may appear in any one of these windows. But that is where you adjust what you see in the various windows. So I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to go down here. And again, customize display. All right. So you can have a transition effect on or off for the cruise if you want. You can have a welcome effect if you want. You can do that for the gauges, and you can do it for animation. And so basically the gauges will move a little bit if you have that on. It's kind of nice. So let's go back one. Here's where you change the units and the language if you want. Go back again. If you completely mess up, you do have a factory reset right here. All right, let's go backwards, and then let's go forwards one, and we're back to the home screen. Next, we're going to move over to the infotainment screen. All right, the infotainment screen itself is 8 inches. Now, there is quite a wide black border on either side, but it is 8-inch screen. And it has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both of which are wired connections. And then you have got AM and FM, Sirius XM, HD radio, of course, and Bluetooth. And then through Nissan Connect, on part of their services, you can actually use Alexa and give voice commands from Alexa from your house to do things like remote start your car and so forth. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a tour of the whole system here. Starting up with the physical buttons, you've got a rotary volume and then a push for power. Then you've got a tune and scroll and then a push for sound. Then down here you've got a whole row of physical buttons. So this is like your day-night. You can just see it makes the screen brighter or less bright depending on what you like. You've got a skip forward, change for the media. You've got a direct button for audio. You have got a home button. You'll notice there are 3 screens here, so you can swipe and you can see some more sources. If I go this way, you can customize the menu and you can see a clock. You've got a phone button, which if you're hooked into Apple CarPlay will bring you right to there. And then a camera button where you can, it doesn't turn the camera on, but you can say predictive course lines on or off. And then you can go here and change the display settings for it. And we'll get into that later. And then you have a back button. All right, so let's go back to the menu right here. And let's start with the home screen. So to customize this, you're just going to go right into here. And then you can decide, first of all, what kind of a template you want. So right now we've got a big square with 4 little squares. If I go over here, I can make it this. If I go over here, I can make it this. So 3 different ways. So let's just take this one. I'm going to say I want Sirius XM to be here. It's just a click and drag. I would like, let's see, I've got more choices over here. So, Apple CarPlay, I want that one here. And then, let's see, lots of choices. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go back a minute here. And I'm going to put quick dial right here. So I'm going to change this one to text messages. All right. I'm going to leave the middle one as media. All right. So now if I go back either here or down here, okay, and I go to home, now you can see my new screen. Now, as always, if I go this way, I get this same screen and I can reset this up again. If I go here, I can just change between the types of clocks. Right? All right, I got to show you one thing. If you know what year this type of clock was popular, drop a comment down below. I do, Rob does, but let's see if you know when those were popular. All right, so let's go back to menu here. I really like this. This is just really nice. You may wonder, well, why are these grayed out? That's because my phone is connected via USB and I've enabled Apple CarPlay. If I connected to the infotainment system through Bluetooth, these would light up. At the bottom of the screen, you've got some main icons. So right now, I'm gonna go to Apple CarPlay. All right, so if you've never used Apple CarPlay before, it's, in my opinion, 10 times better than Bluetooth. Basically, it allows you to use your phone like it's displayed on your screen. Like this is your screen, or your phone screen. So right now it's in phone mode, so I can look at favorites, recents, contacts, I can get a keypad, I can do voicemail, I can call. I can also activate Siri on my phone. I have an iPhone. You could also activate Google Assistant through the voice command on the steering wheel. So just like you're talking to Siri or Google Assistant at home on your phone. And you can tell your phone to do all sorts of things. So it's just really, really cool. These three icons up here are your most recently used or most commonly used items on your phone. This button here switches between this screen where you see the apps and this split screen. So here I've got my navigation. This is also navigation. So I can go someplace, I can use voice, my Siri to ask for a destination. And then here's my media. Nothing is currently playing. Now, you may wonder, well, what if I want to listen to SiriusXM and use the navigation on my Apple CarPlay or Android Auto? You can absolutely do that. The things will function together. It's just that if you're watching navigation, let's say in this split screen, and you're running SiriusXM will not show up in this picture, but it'll be through the speakers. This only reflects what's coming through from your phone. So, and the SiriusXM is not coming from your phone, so therefore it doesn't show. All right, so let me show you exactly how to do that. I'm gonna go to Audio. I am gonna select SiriusXM. I'm gonna select 80s on 8, that's already selected. I'm not gonna turn the volume up, but if it were playing, now I just simply go back to Apple CarPlay, and there's my navigation. Okay, so I can plot a course. Let's say I want to look for restaurants, and let's just go here because it's the first one. Let's hit start. Okay, so right now my SiriusXM is playing in the background. I don't know if you heard that, it turned up real quick, but and I have got my navigation running from my phone, and there I am in split screen. Okay, it's still running until it gives me my directions, but does not show up here, but it is playing right through here. So really nice system, but if you've not used Apple CarPlay before and you're new to that, or Android Auto, I'd really suggest you take some time in your driveway to get used to it, because it is really nice and you'll like it way better than Bluetooth. The only caveat is you have to hook with a cable to the USB. Now, however, that being said, you can use the USB-C or the USB-A port to connect. I've got mine connected through a USB-C port, but the A port will work just fine. Okay. Oh, I love this. Now, I also want to point out that I can use Apple Maps on here. I could use Google Maps. I can use Waze. I mean, just about any navigation app you like will show up. And then these rest of these icons, you won't have to worry about messages or phone necessarily, because they'll pop up if someone texts you, but you can go to them. But these are all the apps that are on my phone that will work. And for crying out loud, you got Zoom. That's just awesome. Okay, that's Apple CarPlay. Now, if I go over here to audio, so these down here are your presets. And you can see I've got 3 little dots. So if I click the arrow or I swipe, you can see the different presets I have. Okay, so speaking of presets, how do you make one? Well, let's say I would like 80s on 8 and it's not programmed already. I can just go anywhere and click and hold, and there's 80s on 8. Let's say I want to look at some more menu items. So I can look at the SXM menu button. You can also do a direct tune and just type in the station. Let's go back again. So the other thing that people often want to know is, how do you adjust the sound? Well, first of all, you can just push this button, right? And here's got your bass. Push it again, you get middle, and then you get treble, and then you get balance, and then you get fade. Probably the easiest way to do it. Okay? If I go to settings here, though, I can go straight to sound. Then you can adjust these using the arrows. They are not a click and drag. You can have bass enhancer on or off, and then down here, you have speed sensitive volume, which makes the volume on the stereo louder when you're faster and lower when you're slower. Tries to keep it balanced for you. Hit the back button, and hit the back button again here. All right, so I just want to show you quickly that the AM and FM look very similar. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to FM. Okay, very similar setup. There's your source, there's your FM menu. Okay, and you would make a favorite the same way. If I go to AM, same thing. And so I love it that modern cars make AM, FM, and SXM all look pretty much the same, and they certainly function the same way. Okay. All right, so that's the audio button. We've done Apple CarPlay, that's audio. Let's take a look at connections. All right, so right now it says I've got my phone connected via, this is the Apple CarPlay symbol. If you had Android Auto, it would show that symbol. And I can click on here and do device information or smartphone projection. All right. So I can also delete it right there. If I go here and I want to add new, you can have up to 6 different ones. Right? Now, over here, if I click on this, Bluetooth is on. I can click here to say I want 2 phones to be used simultaneously. So then you can say here, you know, what's my favorite phone? Okay. Once you have 2 in, you'll have that option, and that's the one it'll default to. Right? But I mean, that's nice that you can have 2 phones at once. And it says here that your favorite one connects first. So if you have 2 phones and yours is the favorite, that's the one that's going to connect first. But then it's really easy to switch over in this screen to the other one. So you want to run music off it or whatever. You can take a look at Wi-Fi. You can activate the vehicle hotspot. I'm not going to do that right now. And then you can look at USB content. I don't have one hooked in, but this is where you would find that. In fact, let's look at info. So up here, if you get any notifications for the vehicle, you know, low air pressure, oil change, do whatever, that's where those will be. Nissan Connect services. Now, Nissan sells these kind of as, when they buy the car new, you get them all, the whole package, for 6 months. And then after that, you have to subscribe. And I think it's kind of a la carte. So, meaning you can buy one portion of Nissan Connected Services without purchasing another, which is nice to kind of allow you to pick and choose. There is one that is like security and safety, and that's an $8 a month one, and that's the one that allows you to click that SOS button that's right above you in case you have an emergency. When I say emergency, I mean like an accident. It's also the same one that if you have an accident, they automatically call you and ask you if you're okay. They will also automatically call all emergency services, give them your location, the color of your car, the make, the year, all that kind of stuff. If I could recommend paying for one service, that would be it. That's where you can get all that. And there's lots more you can do. Remote start your car, all sorts of stuff. Okay, so that's what's under information. Now, under settings, again, some of these are redundant, but you can look at connections. Phone is grayed out because I'm hooked through Apple CarPlay. If you were hooked through Bluetooth, that would light up and you could click on it. We've already seen sound. Let's talk about volumes and beeps. You know, modern cars beep at you and do all sorts of stuff, you know, door ajar, whatever. Here's where you can adjust the audio volume. You can adjust the ringtone. If you have an outgoing call that's currently going, you can adjust that. And button beeps. You want it to beep every time you touch the screen? Then you can turn that on or off. Okay, and again, you're going to adjust this using the buttons. Is not a click and drag. All right, hit the back button. You can adjust the clock here. You can customize the home menu, which we already did. You can customize audio sources, which I already showed you. You can look at Nissan Connect services, which I did. System voice. Okay, you have initial prompt, like you want, if that's on, then you'll get like a beep when the voice command is starting to work. You can use short voice prompts if you want. It's going to try to guide you as succinctly as possible. Best match lists for music and phone book. So it'll find the closest thing it can find. You have a preference between a female or a male voice, and then you can change the speech rate right here. So faster or slower talker. All right, so here's the same camera button that we got when we pushed the button down here. So the predictive course lines, that's those dynamic guidelines that show up in your rear view camera. So if I just put it in reverse quick, you'll see those, and they are dynamic. So these ones stay in place, and then the swiveling ones are meant to show you where you're going to travel to if you keep the steering wheel locked in that position. These are a different color, and you may wonder why. Well, they're colored that way because they tell you a specific distance. Red is one distance, yellow is another, green's another. So by using those, you have to look those up in the manual. I don't know offhand what they are, but depending on how many inches away you want to be from something, you can use those as guides. Okay, we'll put it back in park here in a minute. Go back to our screen. The other thing you can do is look at display settings. So you have control over the brightness, the contrast, tint, color, and black level. And the only case I can really see this being really beneficial is if you maybe are wearing glasses, or you have trouble with color. That may be very helpful. For me, I can hardly tell any difference, but I'm glad they put it in because I'm sure there are people for whom that is very, very helpful. If I look at others, okay, I can look at the display here. I can have it on, off. I can control the brightness down here, the contrast, and the black level of this screen. If I turn this display off, I just have to push that button to bring it back again. Why is that nice? If you're driving at night, light bothers you. If you turn that off, the screen goes black, but everything is still functioning. All your audio, everything. So it just turns the screen brightness so far down that you can't see it. You can change your language here if you want. There was some places on the driver's information screen to do that. Change your units, look at your keyboard type, and then return all settings to default if you need to. System updates. This does have over-the-air updates, and this is where you would check for that. Right now it's set to auto. If I click down here, it's manual, and then you need to use a USB. Okay, so let's go back, and we'll take a look at apps here. Under smartphone connection, it's going to show what I have. Okay, and then if I have any notifications from my phone or software, I've turned those on and they'll pop up. All right. Go down there, and that is the end of the infotainment screen. So I'm going to press menu and we'll go back here. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.